Okay, let's see if this chat thing works. If I type something in chat, it should now appear on the screen. Oh, well, it works, but good lord, it's way too small. Yeah, let's see if this chat thing works. If I type Shut up, me. Hey, Furroy, hey! I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this dang restream chat panel thingy. Embed in stream. There we go. Size. Pathetic. What is going on here? I may have to stop and start in order for that change to get picked up by OBS. Why in the heck? Okay. Is this something I need to do in Restream or something I need to do in OBS? I swear I'm gonna get this cleared up before. Oh my god! Okay, I overdid it. 1 second. No Peachtree, hey! I'm sorry. I'm not really streaming yet. Gotta test this live chat thing. Alright, I think that's fixed. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what the deal is. Also with the audio. Although right now the audio seems there doesn't seem to be any audio. It's just water dripping. There we go. Ah, yeah. Yeah, were you the one who made the point? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Not Peachtree. That without an integrated chat box on screen, people couldn't tell who was saying what, which, you know, okay, yeah. I'm okay with that. Let's run the game for a second and see if I can, get the window between the windows so that it's not being covered up by a window. Hey, Polarity Gamer! Looks and sounds fine on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, you would read something, but one or the other platform couldn't see it. Exactly. That's and now I am ever so closer to actually being a quote unquote real streamer. It turns out there's a reason why they do all of these things. Okay, that looks good. I swear to God. Just started and I gotta ban somebody. I hope you remember as little guys when you're gonna be gamer. I'm that's not gonna happen. There. Okay. Spammer bammed. Spammer bammed. Spammer spammed. Okay, I can't help but think of there was this wonderful clip running around YouTube of Doctor Doom from Marvel Tokon doing its final move, and someone had dubbed over him, "Mods, crush his balls! You have been banned." I wish I had that. I wish I had that so I could put that in the thing. The list of things that I can do with my stream thing. All right, everybody needs a notification. Stream is starting now. Let's find out more about Ultima 7 Revisited 0.2.5. Twitch.tv/ViridianGames. Alright, let's notify everybody on Sky Blue. Let's notify all of my lovely, lovely patrons. Who have really taken the edge off of this whole no job thing. This music is the business. What's it from? SD Gundam GX. Unused song number 2. Super Deformed Gundam? It is! Look! Super Deformed Gundam! It's great! Oh, Japan, never, ever, ever change. Let's see. Let's tell a Discord that we're doing a thing. And the thing we're doing is a weekly stream. Everyone, stream is starting now. Alright, now that I've told everybody, oh my god! Oh my god! Polarity Gamer just donated 10 euros. Oh, Dono's active on YouTube. Dope. Yeah, I don't know. I flipped switches on the dashboard. And I think maybe they did something where people can contribute now, so thank you. Wow. Polarity Gamer gets to be the first person to donate from on YouTube. Awesome. Okay, I can tell already it's going to be a dry stream, and I do not have enough water, so y'all are just going to have to forgive me. I'm going to have to go get some water and some coffee, and I'll be right back. I have returned. The microphone is allegedly on. Okay, and once again, it's 5 after 6 before we actually get started. I'm sorry. I actually turned the stream on at 6:45 to do testing. But, I mean, never mind that. Let's go. Hello! My name is Anthony Salter, also known as Viridian of ViridianGames.com. That hello is starting to sound more and more like Winnie the Pooh every day. Hello! And today, we're going to talk about some stuff. And then we're going to look at some stuff. Alright, let's see. First things first. A friend of mine interviewed me about Little Wars. My little strategy game that I'm putting on Steam soon, and I was so happy to be able to talk to him. It'd been the first time I talked to him in a while. But then be able to talk to him about the game and everything that's going on. And where's that link? That link is somewhere. Please stand by. There we go. Oh, okay. How appropriate. What in the heck is Restream doing? Okay, there we go. All right, that's the full interview. I didn't want to like play it on stream or anything like that, so that might not be, what you guys tuned in for. But it was great talking to Eric. Eric Peterson is an old boss of mine. I worked for him at Gizmodo Studios. We did not know at the time that we were both technically working for the Swedish Mafia. That didn't come out until much later, after one of the money men behind Gizmodo wrapped his Ferrari around a telephone pole or something like that. I'm gonna show off Little Wars a little later. House Swedish Mafia? House Swedish Mafia. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what the difference between the House Swedish Mafia is and the regular Swedish Mafia. Excuse me. Like I said, I can tell it's going to be a dry stream, so y'all are just going to have to put up with that, and I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, that is the name of a band. Wow. No, this was the actual Swedish Mafia. Apparently, um, one of the guys who started Gizmodo borrowed a lot of money from the Swedish Mafia, and the entire thing, Gizmodo was never meant to succeed. Instead, it was supposed to be this huge tax write-off that was going to generate more money through the write-off than they had put into it. That was the scam. Only I don't think the scam actually worked. In fact, I'm pretty sure it didn't work. Gizmodo was a little too successful. It was kind of like the producers only in game development, where they didn't actually want the product to succeed, but it succeeded just enough to mess up their plan. And I heard a story. This is completely, hearsay, so I don't know if it's true. But apparently, at one point, the money man who bought the money, who borrowed the money from the Swedish Mafia, had a shotgun, stuck down his pants. That was how serious they were about getting their money back. But we didn't know anything about this. We thought it was a pretty cool little gadget, which it was. Um, it's a phone, game player, MP3 player with the right, shape to actually be able to play games on it. It was a Windows CE device, so making software for it was dirt simple. Um, and we thought we were jumping on a train that was going to go far, and the train didn't go anywhere because it was never designed to go anywhere. Okay, enough stories. What's the next thing I'm going to talk about? Where's my text file? Oh, right, right. Okay. Again, I'm not going to link him because that's not what you're here for. But Asmongold recently, on one of his streams, castigated a person who did QA for Bethesda, saying that they should be punished heavily, perhaps even physically, for their failure um, due to how buggy Bethesda games are. And that pushed a button of mine. A serious button. If you want to get me mad, that's really all you have to do. Because QA doesn't fix bugs. They just find them. QA can write up all the bug reports they want, but if the producer says, "Nah, we're not going to fix those, we're just going to go ahead and ship," then the game ships. And it's not QA's fault. The QA department at every game company I've ever worked at has had the highest number of actual gamers in it. Everybody else can be there for a paycheck, but QA tends to be very gamer centric. They tend to actually play games as well as test them. And those are the type of people you want testing your games. I've done QA, and I've also benefited spectacularly from having excellent QA people, on my team. So if QA says we can't ship like this, the players won't like it, and the producers ship the game anyway, and then the players don't like it, that is not QA's fault. The perfect example, personal example, this is the first person example I was there, was Privateer 2 The Darkening. Despite being produced in England, Asmongold has no idea what he's talking about. I can't fathom why he has an audience. Yeah, okay, I don't want to get into political stuff, but he has done some stuff in the past that I've liked. I've enjoyed watching him play games sometimes and stuff like that. But yeah, in this case, he is absolutely, bass backwards. I was assigned to do QA when I was working at Origin. We did QA for a game called Privateer 2: The Darkening, the Guardian. Sorry, no, The Darkening. That game, we did not make that game, but EA forced us to test it, and then after it came out, support it, because Origin had an actual testing and tech support department, and nobody else did. So we tested it, and it was clearly flawed. It not only was buggy, but there were a whole bunch of just ticky things in the game that made it no fun to play. We wrote all of this up and sent it to Aaron Roberts, who is making the game over in England. And I think we got maybe 3 versions. And then that made a few incremental fixes, and then we were told the build you've got is the one we're shipping. And we told them players aren't going to like it. The game came out. Players didn't like it. And to add insult to injury, we had to support the darn thing. When CDs wouldn't work, we had to fix that. When people had trouble with the controls, we had to explain to them that there was no way to rebind the controls. It was a mess. So, that's why blaming QA for a bad game ruffles my feathers. Manual QA people on regular business software dev are great. Unfortunately, manual QA has been considered an org anti-pattern software for over a decade. Really? In business software or game software? Because, all the way up to when I was, working on WWE for Lost Boys, we had a full QA department with competent testers who could provide perfect examples of crashers and things like that to make them easy to fix. And boy, did I love those guys. Um, I miss them. I miss everybody at Lost Boys. That was one of the best jobs I ever had. Okay, enough maudlin. Let's see. What else are we doing? I'm drinking some coffee. That's what we're doing. And if you're thinking, oh, well, QA isn't going to last because, AI will just take that whole thing over. QA in game development has two functions: to find bugs and to tell you if your game is actually fun. AI may be able to find bugs. AI will never be able to tell you if your game is fun. Pretty much every game that hit it big, the developers knew it was going to hit big because the testers would keep playing it after work hours were over. Wing Commander and Civilization. Uh, Chris Roberts and Sid Meier both told stories about how the testers would continue to play the game after their shift was over, and that's how they knew that it was actually a good game. That's the sort of thing that an AI will never be able to tell you. AIs are tools. They're not people replacements. Okay. All right. What's next on the old docket? Okay. So let's go and start talking about Ultima 7 Revisited. Good grief. Um, Last week we had a stupendous stream. I think we had 30 people between Twitch and YouTube at one point. I was just flabbergasted. Um, I didn't find out until that stream that Lord British had retweeted one of my tweets, and that's probably what got so many eyes on the project all of a sudden. Um, and so I, at the time, I was showing off a project I was proud of, but that I knew had some visual issues that were taking away from how the project might be perceived. It's like when you have people over all of a sudden and you realize that your living room is a mess, even though you don't care, you care that they care. And so all of these little things that were broken that I didn't care about because I was working on the deep gameplay suddenly, came to mind, and I decided I was going to spend some time fixing them. So what Oh, I'm in debug. Okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I just want the game to be nice and shiny. Okay. Why is that frame rate? Oh, it's Anthony. It's because you're streaming. I'm like, why is that frame rate so low? I worked so hard getting that frame rate up. Okay, it's because you're streaming at the same time as running a game, you dork. All right. Lots and lots of stuff to the point where I may not be able to remember everything I did this week. Um, I tried. There were both One Crash and Wudan submitted fixes that I showed off last week. But as I looked through the whole world, I couldn't help but notice that those fixes only looked right around Trinsic. And I understand that Trinsic is our test bed, but I wanted more a more consistent solution. So I worked on both of those systems. Right now, the roofs still have gone. I've gone back to the tile roofs rather than the 3D roofs, and the reason is Britain. Britain. I don't know if we're going to be able to do the 3D roofs because I was under the impression, okay, well I need to make an L, I need to make a 2 by 4 and a 3 by 8, and you know, and then I start looking around, going, oh, that's very complex. And I come up in here and we've got this stuff. Look at this. And this. Look at this. And all of these one-off. This. Oh my God. Making models for all of these probably isn't going to be a possibility unless we automatically generate them somehow. And frankly, I think that would be the better solution. I think a 3D model would be nice, but what we need to do is look at the tiles, and clearly we need elevated roofs, specifically because he's sticking his scepter up through the roof of the building, and we can't really have that. I guess I could go back and draw roofs after everything else, like the original Ultimate did it. But the sheer number of different roof types means that we can't really make 3D models for every single roof type in the game. I mean, we could, but it would be so much work. Good grief. This cannon's a little off, but that's okay. And so we went back to, by the way, when it comes to game mechanics, I think you're aiming for an exact one-to-one parity with the original game. If so, have you reversed the old game logic to do so? That's Chelnob 18. This is not a one-to-one parity with the original game. There is already an engine that does that. It's called Exalt. If you want to play Ultima 7 just like it was back in the day, but without it crashing or without you having to go through DOSBox or anything ridiculous like that, go to Exalt and use Exalt. Don't wait for my thing, because my thing is not going to be perfectly consistent with the original game. That's the point of it. I'm trying to present the game in a more updated fashion that makes it easier for more modern players to play. The low frame rate, the clunkiness of the controls, the clunkiness of the inventory, the abysmal combat, all cause new players to bounce off the game when they should be experiencing something amazing. And so I'm gonna, do my best to uh, sand those rough edges off. Okay, my mistake. I was not sure what the intent was. I'm perfectly fine with it not being exactly like the original. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, if you want the original, that engine exists. It's called Exalt. Go support that project. Very dry stream. Good grief. Horking down water like it's the stuff alive or something. Okay, so that was my rationale for getting rid of the 3D roofs for now. I don't have a good solution for roofs right now. So, Wudan, I'm sorry, I reverted the change, but that approach, I just didn't feel like it was going to work. What we might be able to do is look at the form of the tiles, and from that, generate a model on the fly. I think that's a potential global solution. All right, so another thing. What was that? Did y'all see that? What the heck is that? What is that? I can't even tell what that's supposed to be. Bounty boxes. Is it this? No, that's an egg. Okay, well that's an unintended consequence of something I did. I don't know what. Doesn't have to be on the fly. You can get the roofing script to work once, generate the models, and commit. Keeps the runtime simpler. That's true. But hand doing it the way Wudan and I were doing it, that just wasn't going to work. What is that shape? That's an egg. That's a plant. Is that the broken wood railing? Like here? Yeah. Why is it drawing like that? Why is it drawing at all? I was under the impression that we had a mesh for broken wood. For broken wood fences. Fence, 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 fence. Fancy, 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 fence. What did I do? Oh, there. A broken, darker one. Yeah, like that one. Huh. We have a broken, dark one? Okay, I'm sorry. I've gotten distracted here. This is absolutely nuts. Is it still doing it? Yeah, it's still doing it. All right, is it this one? I don't know what's drawing that. Or why. Good lord. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Let's let's ignore that for now. I'm gonna start the game over. And here I was just talking about how I cleaned up my living room so that all the guests would be happy. Poop. Okay, let's see. Another thing that I worked on. Why can't I move their avatar? Oh, that's right. I can lock the camera to other NPCs, so I accidentally locked it to yellow. All right, we do have real, and I mean real, roof pop now. The roof will only pop on the building that you're in. This took a bit, required me to create some new data structures to control which chunks are connected to which chunks. But I'm actually really happy that this finally works. It's been a long-standing issue, and I'm glad that it's finally fixed. Okay, now, here's something else I did. I got really unhappy with the fact that every time I would walk into a pole, or YOLO would walk into a pole, not Peachy said, looks so good, oh thank you, or YOLO would walk into a pole, we would stop dead. That is not how that is supposed to work. What's supposed to happen is if you hit an obstruction, but it's only obstructing you in a certain direction, you can still move along the obstruction. That is what you should be able to do, and now you can. I can walk straight into this wall. Instead of stopping, I'll move along the wall. Hans Hotta says, "Hi Tony." I don't I don't really go by Tony. It's nice to meet you. Do I know you from somewhere? Excuse me. But this just allows you to slip along surfaces so much more easily without coming to a dead stop unless you are perfectly blocked, like me trying to walk directly into this tree. Also means that these... Didn't Richard Garrett contact you already? Nah, Richard Garrett hasn't contacted me. He's retweeted some of my tweets, but he has not actually reached out to me in any capacity. All right, like these little poles, you can just now slip right past them. Oh, and I'm the one who asked you to show the POV Ultima. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got so many viewers now, I can't remember you all anymore. One second. Thank you, because that allowed you to prompted me to do that, which resulted in a video that a lot of people liked and brought a lot of eyes on the project. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so being able to slip past things And it's not just the avatar, it's also YOLO. So YOLO will not get hung up on poles anymore as you're walking around. He will eventually slip past them. So much better than me constantly having to go, where's YOLO? What did he get stuck on? And of course, all your other party members will work the same way. I'm happy your channel is getting traction. Me too. Thank you. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a Twitterer. I'm not a social media kind of person. But I didn't want this project to languish in obscurity. You know? I didn't want people who wanted to play Ultima 7, but were kind of, put off by their initial. What's up with Z fighting on the rooftops? It's Z fighting on the rooftops. Okay. Well, let me finish what I was saying to Hans. So I just, I'm doing all of this stuff just to try to raise the Ultima 7 presence on the internet. And it's forced me to actually learn how to do all of these things, how to be a streamer, and how to do stuff on social media, and how to do video editing and stuff like that. I also added a POV to my roguelike. It isn't fun to play that way, but makes elevation proc gem bugs really clear, says Food Ladder. Oh yeah, that's great. If I go ahead and Control P here, one of the things that that it does is really emphasizes. Wait, whoa, what is going on? What did I do? It used to be when I was in POV, I could just walk right through walls. Looks like I accidentally fixed that, but now I can't walk through doors. Oh, whoa! Okay. It's the whole, I'm trying to pick. Okay. This is how raycasting works. The camera is your viewpoint. You're trying to cast a ray out into the world so you can find out what you're clicking on, right? Well, if I click on something like this flagpole, I will never be able to select the flagpole because I am in the way. The avatar character on the screen is always the thing closest to the camera. So I'm always clicking on me, which means that if I click, hold, and drag, I can move me around. But I can't move anything else. I can't touch anything else. I can't go through doors or anything like that. It's annoying. Okay, but that actually makes the POV version. I need mouse look. Don't get distracted, Anthony. Don't get distracted. Whoa, I can see inside there. What's it like if you move 3D objects in POV? I can't show you because I can only click on the avatar. We might be able to fix that here. I think you'd still go through walls if you're not locked to the avatar. Oh, you're probably right. You are right. You are correct. So the point I was making was that this view makes it very clear which objects are okay as billboards and which ones are not. Like these boots, these are not okay. These are not okay. This ham steak, that's fine. The dagger, it's okay. The sword and the shield and the hat, okay. Well, maybe the hat could use something. Spittoon, that's fine. The bed, that's fine. You know. But you can look at stuff and just tell, this is going to need a 3D model eventually. Looking at it in first person is a much better way of telling that. All right. I do love this mode. All right. Okay, so Control P. There we go. Okay, where am I? Oh my God! Now I can't see the avatar. Can I drag the avatar? Okay, let's restart. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Oh, DLB, that was you. All right. Hey. Again, thank you for the first person mode. Okay, Scouter. It's wonderful to be able to see the kitchen of a project like this. Oh, thank you. Um, the Z fighting is due to all of these tiles having these little transparent edges, and they overlap. And even though I'm trying to use an alpha discard shader on them, uh, the transparent area of one will make the a part of another tile transparent, and that will put a gap in the ceiling. Superbly, extremely annoying. Okay. The boots is in forced perspective. I still love the way it looks. But this, yeah, I know. If I had to ship with it, I could. But if somebody wanted to make, a 3D pair of boots, I would also, appreciate that. All right, so color palette, right? Wudan, was it Wudan? Wudan did the roofs. One crash did the color palette cycling. And it was done using sprites. And again, that worked and looked good, but it wasn't a universal solution. The original color palette, the original animation here was done using palette cycling. It would simply change the color in that palette slot, and in doing so, it would change the color only of pixels that used that color in that palette slot. I don't think everybody here should be familiar with that concept, and how beautiful it made some DOS games look. So I went ahead and undid the doing it with the sprites, and went ahead and did it with a shader. And again, that became a universal solution. And so it also allowed us to get stuff like this, which I didn't even, I probably knew about this, but I'd completely forgotten. Is amazing. It's theatrical. Yeah, it's theatrical. Yeah, oh, what a great way to put it. Okay, look at all of these gemstones. Hopefully you can see it on stream. They all glisten. They all have a little glisten animation on them. And again, that's done with palette cycling. So by fixing the palette cycling for the water, I also fixed these animations as well. And there was another one. That I wanted to show. I think it was, yeah, it was, hang on. Yes, there we go. Jump to instance. Now, magically locked doors also have their animation because that is also palette cycling. I'm extraordinarily happy with how well that worked. There's probably others that I I just don't know about and won't know about until I find them in the world. But again, everything is coming together to make the whole world feel more alive. Yes, everybody following their schedules and doing their things makes it feel alive, but all of these other, little things are just as important. All right, let's see. Character slipping, roof changes. We'll figure that out, Udan, I promise. Um, Extrapolating one crashes, glisten animations. Oh, and they also. Oh no, it wasn't this. It was the river. They're also used for these as well, so we don't have to bake them into sprites anymore. We can just use the sprites that exist in the game, run the animation on them, and the flow animation automatically comes off of them. Let's see, what else? What else? What else? When you talk to somebody, um, previously the what was drawn on the screen would change because the drawing wasn't synchronized between conversation system, UE update system, and main state. And now that's been eliminated. So whenever you talk to somebody, uh, oops, the roofs don't pop off or anything else stupid like that. Like I said, basically just trying to get the living room cleaned up so that the guests, you know, um, think better of the of what they're looking at. Let's see. Also, Scouter V, you said something and I forgot to say hi. Hi, Scouter. Um, Scouter is the one who made that new thumbnail for my video that I think really improved its visibility. So, thank you so much for that. That is still a part of social media that I'm not good at, among all the others. Okay, now, if you'll recall, last week we were in the process of. Oh, can you do a zoom of the character in POV while in? I haven't tried to talk to anybody while in POV. This could this could blow up the world. Let's find out. Oh man, well it didn't blow up the world. You see a middle-aged nobleman. Yola, who is this stranger? Well, this is the Avatar. Canst thou believe it? Welcome, Avatar. Dost thou accept? Yes. Okay, conversations work just fine in POV. So people were talking about how this is, like a Daggerfall killer, basically. And that suggests that that could be the case. We have something else that works. Okay. Enough with POV. Okay. Right. Silver Serpent Venom quest in pause. That is what I was trying to test last week, but issues kept getting in the way. I held off, so let's find out this week if it works. Let's take a little trip up to pause, where we can pause and reflect. Yeah, sorry, dude, I can teleport. I don't need your password. Oh, I want these benches fixed. I want them fixed. I could try to fix them myself. We have an existing model. We just need that dark wood texture for it. And I could replace those broken benches with the 3D model. But I mess things up when I try to do 3D stuff myself. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're going to save the game, actually. In pause. Save. Okay. Hi, Polly. Let's start everybody's schedules so that we can find people where we're expecting there to be. Name, job, pause, bye. Alright, let's talk to Morphin. Why does this sound like Eyes on Me? Shigesato Itoi's Bass Fishing is the name of this game. Okay, there's part of the song at the end that sounds like part of Eyes on Me from Final Fantasy VIII. That's just me. I'm Morphin. Morphin, there. I am Victor. I want to know your name. I want to know your job. All right. Yes, we'll help you with this quest. X. Is there nobody in the town? Oh, that's Polly's, Anthony. You dummy. Excuse me. Okay, this should be Beverly, the, Oh, that's much better. Oh, it's so much better. All right, when I was coming to her shop, here, look at these flipping bounding boxes. Got a bounding box for the door here, bounding box for the cradle here, bounding box for the rocking horse right here, and we keep getting hung up on stuff in her room. But now we can just slip right past it. Let me just scooch right past you. Where is she? She's not here. My frame rate is suddenly very bad, even in release mode. What's going on? Oh, bounding box drawing. YOLO still won't walk into houses. Oh, I need to do a pathfinding week next. What the heck? You see a man covered in the sweat of a hard day's work. Name. I'm Thurston. Job. I operate the mill here in Pause. Mill? The local economy depends on the mill for flour, so I ensure the mill runs. Sometimes I feel that keeping the wheels turning is the only reason to live. Reason to live? I have no wife or family. I've thought about joining the fellowship, but I refuse. I have nothing but my work and a drink of the salty dog now and then. The salty dog? In truth, I go there more to be near Polly, the innkeeper, than for the wine. But she's always busy tending bar and has no time for me, I'm sure. Oh, I forgot we can do this! We can do a little matchmaking! I always love doing matchmaking in these games. The Fellowship? I know they do good work here in town, but there's just something about them that makes me uncomfortable. Thief. Indeed, thou shouldst be wary, my lord. There is a thief in this town. Morphin, a merchant, has had several vials of valuable silver snake venom stolen. Snake venom? It's procured from the silver serpent. I believe gargoyles used it habitually in the old days. I am not so sure what it might do to a human. Perhaps Morphin can tell thee more. Flower? No, 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 thank you. Perhaps next time, my lord. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna save real quick. Because I want to see if we can tell Polly that Thurston likes her. Pause 2. The Revenge. Is this Camille? Who is this? You see an old woman who gives a grandmotherly sweet. Oh, here's Beverly. You can immediately see that her vision is poor. Name is Beverly. Job? I run the House of Items here in Pause. House of Items. It's a shop that sells antiques and previously used. Okay. I don't think that has anything to do with quests, so we will just... Okay, let's see if we can tell her that Thurston likes her. Game flags! Game flags! You relate to Polly what you heard Thurston say about her. She's completely taken by surprise. Thurston really said that about me? I've always liked him, but in truth I always thought I was not good enough for him. Thief. There's a thief in this town. Silver serpent venom was stolen from Morphin, the merchant who operates a slaughterhouse. Bye. Alright. So game flags are working good. Let's see if we can get all the way through this quest. Let's see if we can also break it. Because there was a bug in this quest in the original version that I intend to fix. Andrew. See a cheerful, handsome young man who gives you a friendly wave as you approach. Name? My name's Andrew. Job? Owner proprietor of the dairy here in Pause. Camille? She's a good woman. She's an advocate of the old virtues. She runs the farm by herself, with the help of her son Tobias. A rather defensive young lad, but I cannot say I know much about him. The slaughterhouse, run by Morphin. He bought it just a few years ago after he joined the fellowship. The old man who owned it even showed me the storeroom in there once. The door to it is locked. I think Morphin has the key somewhere in his house. Plot information. Thief. Be wary, for there is a thief in this town. It could be hidden anywhere. With all the trade that occurs in this town. Sorry. Oh, Martin Allegre, 8042 says, hello. Hello, Martin Allegre. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We can buy milk and cheese, but we don't want to do that. So, here we go. So we know game flags are getting set. And we know that they are... Ooh, schedule bump. Man, even in release, that's bad. Gotta do something about that. So let's talk to everybody in here. You see a simple, pleasant peasant woman. Her face is etched with sorrow. Hello, Alina. Alright, her husband Weston is in jail for stealing an apple. I found this direct by complete accident. Law, what's happening here? Um, this is Ultima 7 Revisited. It's a replacement engine for an old RPG called Ultima 7. The original was top down, and now I've turned it into a real 3D game. And at this point, I'm just implementing all the systems, making sure all the quests work, making sure you can talk to everybody and, use all the objects. And I'm hoping that I'll have this out, I'm hoping by the end of the year, that there will be a version of this that's playable all the way through. Stealing fruit. My husband is no thief, my lord. He once had to buy fruit for the child and me so that we would have enough to eat. He's been wrongfully accused, I'm certain of it. Eat? We're very poor. My baby and I are presently living in the fellowship shelter because we have nowhere else to go. The shelter. We're fortunate that we're able to live by the fellowship's good graces, but I do not know how long we'll be allowed to stay. Allowed. They tell me the shelter is only for members of the fellowship. Unless I join soon, I shall be asked to leave and I have nowhere else to go. That's amazing. I'll give it a try for sure once it's finished. Been craving a good old classic RPG. Oh, this is the best one. If you've been if you've been craving a classic RPG, this is the one to play. Child. Cassie is my daughter, just a wee babe. She's my only joy. Bye. She doesn't actually know anything about the Silver Serpent venom, so. You see a nervous man who constantly blinks. He looks up at you in a snit. Who art thou? Who art thou? Victor. Very well, Victor. What dost thou want? Name. I'm Merrick. Oh, he's the third beggar, who is no longer a beggar because he joined the fellowship. But he won't help his friends because they haven't joined the fellowship yet. So he just lets them continue to be beggars. I used to be a farmer here in Paws. Now I suppose I work for the fellowship. I live in their shelter. Farmer. Comor and Ben are his friends. They beat him until he was lame. Very bitter man. Tragic. Oh man, I gotta fix this. Then farm laborer and one of Comor's most trusted friends. With the farm gone, Finn just did not have any place to go or any way to live. Thief? I've heard that some of Morphin's venom hath been stolen. I cannot imagine who would do it unless it was that brat that lives with the farmer widow. Brat? I believe his name is Tobias. That's my middle name. How dare you malign my middle name? Widow? I believe her name is Camille. I gotta talk to these two chuckleheads. You see a small man with twisted, sloping posture. I'd gotten the word that thou wert coming to our town. I've been expecting thee. I must admit, though, that I find it difficult to believe that thou art truly the Avatar. Who cares? My name is Feridwin. Job. I run the fellowship shelter with my wife Britta and my son Garrett here in Paws. Okay, I'm going to power through these because I'm really trying to find out if the game flags for the Silver Serpent quest are working. So, fellowship, no, I don't want to join. Britta, wonderful woman, thou shouldst meet her. I will in a minute. Garrett, thankfully we've been able to raise our son properly. He's morally superior to everybody else, and talented too. He's talented. He plays the panpipes. Shelter. Pause. The merchants, Morphin, Andrew Thurston, and Beverly. Snake venom. I think that's it. I am Rita. I help my husband, Veridwin, run the Fellowship's shelter here in Paws. Alright, again, gonna power through these. She's gossip. Serpent venom. Bye. Okay. Talk to everybody in here. Where's Garrett? Oh, is this him? I think it is. You see a jovial young man who gives you a friendly greeting. Name. I'm Garrett, the son of Veridwin and Britta. Veridwin. Recruit. Pause. And there's a thief here. There's a thief in this town. Our merchant Morphin had some valuable silver serpent venom stolen from him. The culprit is still free, so be wary. Tobias, he and his mother reject the Fellowship. They are witless and stupid, and I do not like them. Oh! Oh! Well, Poopy McPooperson. That's a broken script right there. What did I just click on? Get answer call with poor people. All right. Oh, I wish I'd saved before I talked to him. Crud. But now we have work to do. We have work. NPC Garrett. Poor people. What engine are you using to make this or program? I am programming this in straight C++ using a single game library called Raylib. I actually did a video recently on how important object persistence is for games like this. Every object in the world, if you pick it up and you move it, that needs to be saved. That needs to persist. That's what allows you to hoard every cheese wheel in Skyrim. And this game absolutely relies on it. And neither Unity nor Unreal support that out of the box. They want you to continually clean things up. They want you to use, list inventories rather than having objects out in the world. C++ from the C++ file extension and Lua from the Lua file extension. That is correct. I'm using Lua as my scripting system. Oh, Michael Pereski. Michael Pereski. Pohoreski. Michael Pereski. I hope I'm saying. I hope I got that right at some point. But yes, yes, it is C++ with a game library called Raylib, and the scripting is all being done with Lua. And that's pretty much it. Just like your grandma used to make. All right. Let's see. You did? Michael Pereski says, I wrote the U7 shapes way back in the day to decode the original sprites. Was that for DOS? Did you write the DOS? Utilities for Ultima 7? Oh my god. I never open sourced it, sadly. Just that one utility. Um, they used RLA. Yes, they did. Extensively. And inconsistently, which really hurt, you know, later attempts to figure that out. Let's see. Poor people. One. This is where it broke. Remove answer poor people. Add answer character. Okay, let's do it again and see what happens. Let's do it in debug and see what happens. I figured out the command line cheat from inspecting the startup program and the in-game cheat menu from inspecting the strings in the exe. You good old hacker. Most people didn't know the Voodoo Memory Manager used flat real mode to get 32-bit code via the EBX registers with their Borland C++ code. That's right. Let's see. Load, pause 2. But the Borland C++ compiler didn't like building that 32-bit code because it wasn't designed to do it. The whole thing was a hack. And so every executable that it built like that would generate an error message on release. And they eventually they couldn't get rid of the error message, so that was when they went into the compiler in a hex editor, found that string for the error message, and changed that string to say, thank you for playing Ultima 7. So when you dropped a DOS from playing Ultima 7, that what you're supposed to see is an error message, but they changed the error message to say thank you for playing Ultima 7 to cover that up. And they did that for a couple of games. All right, let's see. We're going to talk to Garrett. Name, job, Barrett Win, Britta, shelter, recruit, 4 people. No. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It didn't fail this time. Hi, I'd heard that rumor before. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah. Yeah, that was just one of the crazy things that they did to get this game working. Fellowship and pipes. Pause. Thief. No. Tobias. Bye. All right. Do I have to talk to Farid when in Britta? I'm gonna anyway. I should start saving. I should start. Also, I need a quick save. I need a quick save. Why do I have to double click on them twice for it to work? It's so odd. All right. Again, we're just gonna power through this. To get flags set. No. Merchants. Morphin. Snake venom. Andrew. Mila and Tobias. Beggars. Comor and Finn. All right. I don't think Merrick and not Brito. What's the lady in the Alina? I don't think they have anything to do with the quest, so let's go ahead and we've already talked to Garrett, who, spoiler alert, is the actual thief. The 3D view looks great otherwise. When's the plan to fix the Z fighting flicker? Well, we had a plan and I scrapped it. We were actually going to make 3D models of each of the roofs, but then I looked at all the individual unique roof types in the game, and I just went, okay, that's not viable. So, you know, I scrapped it, and now we're back to these barely working roofs, and I'm sorry about that. Uh, gonna do my best to figure something out soon. All right, let's talk to Camille. Once again, I had to double click on them twice to get them to talk. The 3D view looks great otherwise. Thank you. We've put so much effort into it. Tobias, Farm, Hills, Fellowship, Carrots. Oh, no, I don't want to buy carrots or wheat. Yes, I will take it to Thurston. Leave. Bye. Okay. Just when I need another avatar, he mumbles under his breath. I'm Tobias. I suppose I'm to believe that thou art someone important. Job. Mother. Farm. 8 virtues. Grain. Shelter. Fellowship. I hate the fellowship. Z fighting and transparency before OIT was discovered is the bane of all graphics programmers, correct? Thurston. Dairy. Avatar. Was that truly the avatar? Yes? Thou art no avatar. What am I supposed to say? No? I am the avatar. Garrett. He hates Garrett. Mother join. They don't want his mother. He doesn't want his mother to join. Thief. No one knows who he is. Bye. All right, let's save because we should be at the point where the quest advances. Pause 4. Gotta go through the house to get out of here because otherwise you get fenced in. All right, let's maybe go talk to, maybe go report into Morphin. Greetings, my lord. Apology? I do apologize for my rudeness earlier. I've since realized that thou art an honest person. Please forgive the insults. He bows, dripping insincerity. Let's see. Pause. Out. Okay. Nothing new here. Sometimes it takes me a minute to remember how to advance the quest after you've talked to everybody. I may have to look up a walkthrough real quick here. But I seem to recall that talking to Garrett and Tobias were the most important people. Okay. I'm not gonna mess around here. Let's get a walkthrough. Ultimate 7, pause, Venom, walk through. Oh, I need to deliver that wheat to Thurston. Oh my god, work with me here. Talk to Camille and Tobias. And once you come back to the homeless shelter, okay, that's running off the screen. We need to fix that. Dang it. It's possible the quest didn't trigger. Which would be terribly, terribly annoying. Talk to Camille and Tobias last, and once you return to the homeless shelter, ViridianGames comes running and tells you, oh, does he engage me? Is that how it's supposed to work? NPC ViridianGames. I don't even know if that's in the game yet. Flag, pause, frame, ready. as you are walking outside the fellowship building. Utility event 0454. Okay. I didn't know what this was doing before, but utility unknown 1087. Okay, so this is clearly broken, but it's broken for an interesting reason, which is almost as good as working, right? Utility event 0454. Okay, nothing's calling this. That's the problem. What is supposed to call this? Get flag, met Viridwin, met Tobias, met Garrett, met Camille, met Morphin. Okay, so those are the 5 people that we need to talk to in order to make the quest work. Flag, pause, frame ready. True, he's ready to frame Tobias for the... Well, he's not going to do it. Viridwin will tell us about it, but Garrett is the one who's framing Tobias for the theft. If get flag, pause, frame ready, and not get flag Tobias framed, then utility okay. This is what's supposed to make Viridwin come and engage us. Utility unknown 1087. What's that being called with? 3. Get NPC name NPC Viridwin. If utility unknown P1 and table contains and get flag 57, is that schedule type POV1? Welcome to debugging a decades old proprietary scripting system that nobody else ever used. That's that's what this is all about now. All right, so it's broken, but it's not broken because of the flags. The flags are getting, not only are the flags getting set, they're getting saved and loaded, which is nice. But the issue is that there is a update script that's supposed to, pulse every once in a while to check to see if the conditions are right to advance the quest. Uh, I don't know what is supposed to call this function, and I need to find out. I may end up having to look at the original use code to figure it out. Okay, so it looks like what's supposed to happen is you leave Camille's, you come back, Feridwin comes out and engages you and says, Tobias is the thief. Um, Uh, Garrett found silver serpent venom in his, belongings, which isn't suspicious at all. Then you go back to talk to Camille, and Camille then comes and engages you and says, "Please clear my son." Utility unknown 1087 could be the utility that causes an NPC nearby to engage you. Set schedule type POP1. Set schedule type 3. What is schedule type 3? Oh my god, we've got a whole list of the darn things. Where are they? Uh, there we go. Finally. Talk! Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So they temporarily get set to schedule type 3, in which they seek out and engage the avatar and start a conversation with him. Or her. This game was amazing. All right. Well, we know the nature of the problem, and we've got a good look at how we could fix it. Um, let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to show off? Man, I remember the first time an NPC talked to me in an RPG. It was in Ultima 6. I could not believe it. My mind was blown. I had never had an NPC come up to me and engage conversation before. It was just one of those amazing things. I need to make that video. I've got this idea for a video of all the amazing moments I've had during my gaming career. And I really want to make it, but I'm a terrible video maker, and so I would just mess it all up. All right. Um, the guy outside Castle Britannia. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The guy who claims that he's Lord British. Okay. I didn't want to do this, but I've been drinking a lot of water, so I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Enjoy the pretty music. All right, I'm back. Okay, I guess we could do a little Wars update, but honestly, there wasn't that much. I cleaned it up a bit for the video, and I'm terribly, terribly grateful to my friend Eric for featuring me on his web show, webcast, whatever. Um, I dropped that link earlier in the stream. Hopefully you can scroll back up and get it. If not, I'll drop it again. Let's see. Oh no, don't look at all the junk on my desktop. It's all stuff from the last video I tried to make. Alright. Oh, there is something I can show. Oh, hang on. Okay, my younger daughter just asked me, Papa, what was that anime we watched when I was a kid about anime schoolgirl witches? All of them? Sailor Moon? Cardcaptor Sakura? Madoka Magica? She's having ramen with shrimp tempura buns. I swore I would not have any sushi until I got a new job. It's been rather a long time. Alright. Uh, why did I open this? Right. I have a contributor. His name is Memento Mori. Where'd that go? There we go. He is working on a new... Oh my god. Do I not have GIMP on here anywhere? Where's GIMP? I swear. Okay. Okay. He is working on a new title screen for Little Wars, and this is what he's got so far. He's going to put these flags on their own layer so that I can randomly change the color to any of the player colors. And I'm going to have soldiers marching out of this gate down this road. I love it already. But I mean, clearly it needs some touching up and stuff, and a lot of it's still kind of really plain. But I mean, to get rid of the stupid AI thing that I did here will be very nice. I know that that's not, much of an update, but that's just how it is. I'm sorry. Okay, I think I'm out of stuff to talk about. Uh, Why don't I, kind of throw it open to the floor and see if anybody has any more questions for anything I'm doing, or just anything in particular? Because otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and have my dinner. Oh, let's do the let's do let's do guess the game. There we go. Guess the game. Oh, that's yeah. Okay. Usually I use a you know, an ad blocker for this very reason. Okay. Have you looked at Exalt? Yes. Oh man, I've been using Exalt for many years. Um, Eating empanadas. Ah, I love empanadas. Oh, I love empanadas. Yes, I've looked at Exalt. I mean, what's the context? I mean, are you just asking if I know about it? Because yes, I definitely know about it. Um, have I looked at how Exalt handles characters coming up to you and addressing you? No, I haven't. I'm trying not to just steal a bunch of stuff straight out of Exalt for the gameplay elements. Um, that seems disingenuous. And I hate being disingenuous. I want to be ingenuous. Or genuous. Or uous. Or something. You know, I want to be honest about what I'm doing, is what I'm saying. Okay, this looks extremely Dishonored coded. Make this bigger. Dishonored. Dishonored? It's supposed to be a drop down that. Is it because I made it too big? Just want everyone to be able to see past all the Dishonored. There we go. Dishonored. It is not Dishonored. Metacritic score 67. So not a very good game? Yep. Original platform PS2. Okay, it's gotta be some kind of PS2 horror game. Set in a mansion. With a big thing that chases you around. That doesn't really narrow it down. Horror survival. We're so back, says Demichronic. Are we back? Where are we back from? Oh my god! Are you kidding me? This game got a 67 on Metacritic? This is Haunting Ground. I know what it is. This game got a 67 on Metacritic. This game was great. It was... Oh my god, I can't stand all these ads. Switch back to my... Where's my actual browser? There. Haunting Ground. Okay. Girl wakes up. She was in a car crash. She wakes up inside a castle. The master of the castle, you know, isn't gonna let her go. She's not sure why at first. Later it becomes clear that he wants her for nefarious purposes. What a shock. But the great thing about Haunting Ground is that you have no weapons. You will never have a weapon in this game. The best you can do is kick enemies, and at most, all you can do is stun them when you kick them, so you can run away. Haunting Ground also has an adorable pupper. Where's the pupper? Named Huey. Where's the pupper? Pupper. And how you treat Huey A, influences how much he's willing to help you, and B, changes the ending. Yep, that was it. Oh, great! Martin Allegre is also a fan of good PS2 horror games. How did this get a 67? I don't know. Maybe because she's dressed skimpy? Man, that's part of horror. Part of horror is being uncomfortable, you know? Well, I don't want to get into that too much. But it was a great game because you beat all of the bad guys by solving puzzles. You had Huey, who could fetch things for you, and could defend you, but all he would be able to do is hold enemies in place while you ran away. That was all he could do for you, and then he'd catch up with you. The sense of helplessness in the game was tremendous. And there's no point at which... See, in a lot of horror games, there's a point at which you power curve, and suddenly you're not scared anymore because you can actually fight back. That does not happen in this game. And there's another game that I really loved that did the exact same thing. It was the original Clock Tower. What? I don't want to look at clock towers. I want to look at the Super Nintendo game Clock Tower. Yes, here we go. I want some screenshots. Screenshots. I don't want the cover, I want some screenshots. Yeah, there we go. This is Jennifer. She is currently getting stabbed by the Scissor Man. In the exact same way, at no point will Jennifer ever get a gun or even a knife or anything like that. She will never be able to fight back. Now, through some of her actions, some of her enemies will die, but it's not through, her directly intending to fight and kill them. Again, it's all about get the backstory, find out what's going on, find out what everybody's weak against. Use that to keep them at bay while you try to find a way to escape. And I think that makes for excellent, excellent horror. Much better than, maybe not better, but a different flavor than, I have a way to fight, but I don't have a lot of bullets. And that breeds the anxiety. And that's perfectly valid. There are tons and tons of great horror games that use that as the way to... And one of the first is a game called Sweet Home for the Nintendo. This is a classic top-down RPG, but it's horror-themed, and it invokes its sense of dread. Can we get a screenshot here? Good grief. The whole first page is nothing but the cartridge. There, okay. But yeah, as you can see, it looks just like any other NES top-down RPG, but the creepy story, and again, the fact that the resources that you have to work with are limited, invokes the feeling of dread. It's entirely possible to lose the game. It's entirely possible to get to the point where you simply don't have the resources necessary to keep yourself alive long enough to get to the ending. It's possible to mess up the ending and get a bad ending. So that's how different games. That's a quick treatise on how different games invoke fear in their players. Have you played Rule of Rose too? No, that one's kind of a little weird for me. That one's a little weird for me. They're a little young. I've shied away from that. Sorry. Which leads to a question. Is Fatal Frame horror? Because in Fatal Frame, you actually do have a weapon. You have the camera obscura, which you can use. That's okay. I have the same feeling about it, lol. Yeah, really. um, in Fatal Frame, you're a Japanese teenage girl with no weapons running around a haunted mansion trying to find her sister. But you actually do have a weapon. It's called the camera obscura, and it allows you to take pictures of ghosts, and in doing so, hurt them. And if you if you take the right frame, there's indicators that will flash different colors. And if it flashes red, you take the picture on that frame, you get what's called a fatal frame, which does critical damage to the ghost. So, is Fatal Frame a horror game because you can fight back, or is it not because it has? Or is it not a horror game because you can't fight back, or is it a horror game because of its horror theme and all the elements? That's a darn good question, and I'm glad I don't have to answer it. Ha 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 ha. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna have a dinner. Unless anybody else has something to say. It's better to burn out than fade away. I'm gonna check the stream here for a bit. What the heck? It says I'm offline. Am I offline? Nope. Restream says, enjoy dinner, says Demichronic. Thank you. King Destructible says, thanks for hanging out. Oh, thank you for hanging out. Michael Peroski says, I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Peroski or Pereski? Says, good luck with the project. Thank you. Oh, don't tune out yet. Oh my god. Oh, I wanted to. Oh, there was something I wanted to say, and I completely forgot. I got the best comment on YouTube on one of my videos this week. Oh, it made my heart feel good. Let me find it. Let me find it. It'll just take a second. This was on my Ultima 7 uh, Revisited update. And oh, where'd it go? No, come back. Come back. I lost it. Did I really lose it? Oh, here it is. Okay. This just made my day. The visuals of this are genuinely terrifying. Like, it looks like a normal DOS game, and then boom, the camera is moving and the game is 3D, but then the camera stops and it's a 1994 game again. I showed it to my girlfriend and she audibly jumped when the camera moved during the intro. That's exactly what I was going for. That's exactly what I wanted. Makes me feel good. Keeps me going. Keeps the project going. Thank you, Toxic Glamour, wherever you are. All right, Pohoretsky, Restsky, Pohoretsky, Pohoretsky. Dang, Pohoretsky. I'm sorry. Pohoretsky, Restsky is what's giving me fits. I'll try to practice that. All right. Now I'm going to wrap up the stream and have dinner. Love you all. thank you for tuning in. Everything is going to be okay.